Hi, welcome to Spinster actually. My name is Anna Marie, and yes, I'm gonna have to take this off very soon, but I wanted to show you that I've been knitting, no shit, and I finished one of the things that I was working on that I talked about in my last podcast episode, and it is this. So this is the Sicimbrium. I knit it in Noro yarn. I think the pattern calls for 4mm, but I knit it at 4.5mm, and I think my gauge was like slightly bigger, so I knit a size lower than I would have. And then this is something that I knit all of last year, and I finished it in May. Literally so hot. I finished it in May, and I didn't like how it came out. I didn't like the fitting for the sleeves, and I didn't like how it fit in the body. And so I had knit, I think, size 4 at that point, so then I decided I would undo it all, but in the end I realised I didn't need to undo it all. I needed to undo it to about like here on the yoke, because the yoke was the same for size 3 and size 4. And so then I went back and I knit the size 3, and I definitely am much happier with how the sleeves came out in terms of like the what's the word? You know the word. Oh, love to have me captured on camera with my brain fog. You know, the size of the sleeve, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because it was like so huge last time, and so I decreased quite a lot to try and get the fit of the sleeve I wanted, but then it was just really obvious that there was like all of these like increases, or decreases I mean, so I just like didn't like how that looked. But this I'm really happy with. I didn't knit the sleeves how the pattern wanted you to knit them. I did my own thing, including adding can't remember what's on the original sleeve. There might be 1 row of the bobbles, but I added 2, and then I finished with like some rows of garter. Yeah, I think these look great. I think the colour of the yarn is just really excellent. This I think this is what I have left. I was given for my birthday 2 years ago now, I think, because like, yeah, I knit it all last year and then I undid it. But I was given 2 skeins, which are 200 grams each. So I was given about 400 grams. And then I think I weighed this and it's maybe 230 grams or something. So I still have 170 or so grams of this. And I'll get to my plans and ideas about that soon, I guess. I'm like talking as fast as possible because I just want to take this off. I'm so hot. But it does look really good. I'm really happy with the way this yoke looks. Like, I think this is a really cool motif, and I've been trying to think about like maybe putting it into like a raglan construction thing that I might try and make, I don't know, some point one day, because I just think it looks really great. The one thing is I do struggle then to like find things that I want to wear underneath this. I kind of feel like this works as a top by itself, but not really. But then it is a bit itchy for me, but it's like not super itchy. It's obviously way worse right now because I'm hot and sweating. So I was happy with the sleeves change with this re-knitting that I did. The thing that I'm not so happy about, but I sort of don't care, and like I'm gonna wear this anyway, is that I think that the same problems that I encountered last time in terms of the way that the torso fits, well, I also encountered them this time, and I also struggled with like just feeling like there was so much bagginess in the back and wanting to decrease. One of the things that I was concerned when I did do this reknit was that I was gonna have to find a lot of space in the front for like bust shaping, because there's no bust shaping, and I think last time I did have to do some increases, but this time I didn't really feel like it was like super necessary. I mean, I definitely did do some increases. I don't really remember what I did exactly, but I was like trying it on a lot, and so I wasn't like recording, I was just like seeing what it was gonna be like. I have to take this off now, but you've seen it. Yeah, sorry, I just really couldn't wear that for any more amount of time. Like, the back still continues to be really baggy, and then I definitely decreased in a way where you can kind of see the decreases, but at the same time, like, I didn't want it to be like super baggy at the back. So I just sort of feel like this is partially just because of the construction being what it is, like a yoke in the rounder yoke construction jumper, which just doesn't really give me the fit I want, I guess. Even if like, yeah, I am still overall happy, and I am also really happy that I finished this in time. I think I started talking about that, but yeah, I had this like plan to try and finish it sort of a year on from when I last finished it, partially because I had been knitting it during this like really particular and special moment, and there was like an anniversary for that moment, and I did actually manage to do that. In fact, I was weaving in the ends on the day that was the anniversary, at least in like the Hebrew calendar, which falls on a different day than it was in the like Gregorian calendar. But I was weaving in the ends on that day, and so I got to wear it on that day, and it was really lovely, and it made me very happy. And I do just think like this is like a fantastic bunch of colours, and I think I have to just like sort of look at the positives, even if I do also feel like a bit frustrated with the way the torso fits. But I think like also most people will look at me from the front, so like that's fine. Obviously I also kind of finished it just at a point where it's like it's just too hot to wear, but that's okay. I will definitely be wearing this in the autumn and winter. So that's my like finished garment. In terms of like what's in progress, I haven't made any more progress on a bunch of the things that I showed last time. I guess I'm kind of planning to maybe keep knitting on my Tolster again now. But I have made progress with something I think I showed the maybe gauge swatch of in the last episode. And that is this, which is the Bloodroot tee by Andrea Gorn. And it is, it's gonna take me years, but I have at least made progress now. I knit like a bunch of the back panel, which you start, it's a really interesting construction because it's a set in sleeve construction. So you start by knitting like a chunk of the back, then you pick up on the sides of the back here, and you knit here for the sleeves, then you do the other side, and that's when you start to join in the round, or like you do knit a bit back and forth, all connected, those three, and then you join in the round. But yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, it doesn't matter. I will link a video about like sleeve constructions, and in particular like these kinds of garments that the designer made, because she talks a lot in depth about that if you're confused / intrigued. And I've never knit something in this construction before. I am like a bit worried about it like not fitting, and like one of the reasons why I am still here as opposed to a bit further on is because I started knitting at 2.5mm needles, I think. I was just really silly with my gauge swatch. And so I started knitting 2.5, and then I was like measuring, and I just felt like my gauge was too big. I was just not getting it. And I really want this to fit how I want it to fit. I want it to be like negative ease mostly, but not like super tight fitting, but just like I want the ribbing to be in effect, you know, like I want it to be nice. So I thought I just have to like redo. So I went down to 2.25mm needles, which is where I did get gauge, and like, you know, that does kind of suck. Like some people manage to knit this on 2.75mm needles, and I just like wish that was me, you know, like but I am really happy with the fabric that I am getting. I feel like because it's ribbing, and then also just because of the construction, you just have to kind of like believe that it's gonna fit. And luckily I think because of the ribbing and also I guess the construction, there is some like leeway like in terms of it fitting. But yeah, so yeah, there's a knit along going on right now. I think from when I'm filming it's maybe got 2 more weeks left, and obviously like you're supposed to be finished. But I'm not. And like one of the other reasons I guess I'm like behind where I would want to be, I didn't think I was going to be able to finish it during the like knit along, but I did hope to be a bit further along, but it's because I did have to wait a little while to be able to get my yarn, which I guess I should talk about, because it's this, which is it is Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in Red Currant. So that's what I decided to knit it in. I think the pattern is made in just pure merino, Knitting for Olive, but I thought that because I just am really hot as a person, that I would knit it in a blend, like a more summery blend, so that it will work better as like a t-shirt, but hopefully I can also wear it in spring, probably not in the summer because I'm just too hot. But yeah, that's that. I'm really happy with the color that I chose. Like I think it's gonna be great. and I just have to like keep going. I'm on the step where I'm just doing sleeve increases, then I'll go to the step where I'm doing sleeve and body increases, and then I think I'll finally be able to move on from the sleeves and go just to the body, which I feel like will hopefully work up a bit quicker. But you know, that's okay. The one good kind of thing about this is that aside from right now where I am still having to think quite a lot whilst I knit it, there will become a point where it just becomes like fairly easy, because I will just basically be like knitting, ribbing in the round for ages, maybe with some decreases and maybe increases for like bust shaping and waist shaping. It has also been really lovely to see like lots of other people's like versions and their designs and stuff, and I mean there are some really gorgeous like stripy versions, and if I was a fool, which I am, I guess, but like if I was more of a fool, I would be like, oh, maybe I should knit that with stripes. But I don't think I will do that. I am kind of interested though afterwards. I mean, I'm sure there are patterns that are like this construction but not ribbed, and I feel like that's maybe what I'll try and do next time, especially if I want a ribbed version. I'll just do like plain non-ribbed set and sleeve negative ease top. I think that could also look nice. Anyway, but that's a long way from now. But yeah, obviously you're sort of also supposed to get gauge like by stretching it a bit, which is also why I changed from 2.75, because I didn't have to stretch it to get gauge, and I was like, I wanted to be a little bit stretched. But yeah, so that's that. That's how it's going. I do really like, I am really, really happy with the color red. Like I think I already said that, I guess. So yeah. Okay, and then aside from this, let's talk about the Noro yarn I have left over. So if you watched some of my other like podcasts, I guess, when was I knitting it? I don't remember. Anyway, like a little while ago, I was knitting or trying to knit this Sugar Plum blouse by Sydney Rosewag, which is another kind of pattern where you have to like input your measurements, and then there are like various formulas that you use to generate the numbers inside of the pattern in terms of like how many repeats or like how many decreases or across how many rows, that kind of thing. So it's quite like it's not a particularly like straightforward thing, like you do need to be like quite plugged in. And I did knit a pattern from her which was in the same format more recently after having tried to do the Sugar Plum blouse and giving up. And it did work, even if there was also some issues, but some of those issues were probably me, although some of them might have been the pattern. And I'm kind of intrigued to keep like trying to knit the patterns, because I really like them. I think they're really beautiful, and I also maybe they work, I don't know. Anyway, and like I really do like the Sugar Plum blouse. I think it looks really beautiful. I kind of also felt like the yarn that I tried to use, which was like a Debbie Bliss Prima Cotton something, was like cursed. And like for a while I had been thinking about this, because one of the things that did motivate me, aside from the like anniversary thing, to finish this was that I knew that there would be quite a large chunk of leftover Noro yarn, because when I first made it I had a chunk of leftover Noro yarn, and I knew, because obviously I was knitting a smaller size, it would probably have slightly more, than not a particularly large amount. I have like these, although I'm not actually sure like if I did use these in the original version, because I do think maybe anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is, with this leftover, I have been kind of thinking that it would be really cute to make a Sugar Plum blouse. I will say the thing that I'm definitely going to skip though is the long like ribbed belt, basically, that you knit just back and forth for a really long amount of time, at least for me, because of the size of my like waist circumference, and then you have to do more than that because you tie it, and then the way the pattern works is you knit that and then you knit out of the round of that belt, basically. And so instead what I'm just going to do is I'm going to like start from knitting just in the round already from the waist, and then when I finish doing that, I'm going to go back and do like an I-cord edge, I think, and then have little ties on that. So it sort of like replicates some of what the belt was doing, but like isn't as unbelievably like long and boring and just laborious. That's not the word I was looking for, but anyway, so that's sort of my plan. I did knit this like yesterday or something as a kind of swatch to see the pattern, but to be honest, I don't really like how the the motif it has, how it looks. To be honest, I also sort of am a bit like, I think it does look good on the end pictures, but I do feel like there's something about it that just doesn't quite work. So then I was thinking about what else I could do, and like I said before, I've knit this vest recently by also by the same designer, called the Darabee vest, and that has cables, and in that vest I wasn't able to put one of the cables that I wanted to for various reasons. I think I do talk about it in previous episodes. And so I was like, well, I could try to see if this yarn looks nice if there's cables. And I feel like you maybe don't get super definition, but actually I think this looks pretty nice. Obviously it's like a color changing yarn, and sometimes I feel like color changing stuff makes things just like sort of recede and you lose some of the definition. And like, I'm not completely convinced by this, and I don't think I'll use the same cable. I just kind of, that was the cable that was like in my head because I have done it. But I might try to find something else. There are definitely some that have like a much smaller cable that's just like maybe 2x2 twisted, that like could be cute as like a little motif like right in the middle, where the like lace leaf motif would be. So yeah, I'm kind of like gonna play around with this. I knit this on 4mm needles, this swatch, because that's what I'm hoping to knit the pattern in. Obviously there is the concern that maybe I won't have enough, but considering this has sleeves and it was 230 grams, I think I should be able to make a closer fitted non-sleeves, or like just very small like cap sleeved garment, even if I do cable, which I know does like take up a bit more yarn, but like still I don't think it would take up that much. And yeah, I think it should be fine. So that's kind of like my plan for the rest of the Noro yarn. I mean, I could go down, like, because I do feel like stretching you maybe do see a bit much, and I want it to be like a negative or zero ease like garment, but I don't want to knit this on smaller needles. It's partially just because it's like, this is my small needle, you know, project, and it's like so small needle. I want to be knitting on not small needles. Anyway, we'll see. I think I will probably undo this swatch and redo it, maybe with a different cable to check in, because then I also have to figure out like how many I'd want to do, because I do think actually, now that I'm thinking about it, just having one cable doesn't look very good. Whereas maybe if I have like 3 cables in fairly close proximity, that could look nice. I don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, so that's that. The other thing I wanted to show is not knitting related. It is fleece. Also, yeah, I guess maybe in a month or so, I think, maybe like a month and a half, Tour de Fleece is going to be happening, because the Tour de France is going to be happening. So I'm really excited about that, and I will be like hopefully doing it. So I guess I'll talk about that stuff at some point too. But yeah, anyway, this is washed. Oh, beautiful blue-faced Leicester. It was like £1 or something for 100 grams. So me and my friend, we bought like 500 grams and then like halved it. Oh, I've been like obsessed with it. Like, just look at these incredible looks. I'm like obsessed. So beautiful. I do think that I kind of brought it home because I was like maybe gonna, here we go. I was maybe going to try and like use my combs, but I actually think that the staple length is too short. I just need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure this is too small to be combed, or like to be like effectively combed, I think. So I think I will go take it back to my friend's house and use their carder to prep it. I don't have like loads of plans for it right now. It was just like, you know, we were at the like a wool fair last year, and it was so cheap and it was so beautiful, and so I got it. My friend did say that like the quality is maybe just not actually that great, which does make sense because it was £1 for 100 grams. But like, how can you pass up on an offer like that? Like, it's just so beautiful. Like, the main thing that makes me sad is like, if I do like keep processing it, like it will lose its like incredible curls, and like I just love it. Yeah, anyway, I just thought I would share that because, you know, hopefully you'll appreciate it like I appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's everything to bring you. I do hope that the next time I speak I will have made more progress on my Joris, who has not made any progress recently, because I've been knitting on either that jumper that I finished or this. I I hope that yeah, what you've been making has been nice and fulfilling, and I would love to hear your thoughts about any of the things I talked about. And what else can I say? I don't think so. I actually do think I quite like this. I think I like how it came out. I feel like on the camera maybe it's like even less distinct than it is in person. I don't know, I think I'll take it to a graph group and I will ask their opinion about it. Because sometimes you just gotta check in with other knitters, you know? Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I will talk to you when I next talk to you. Bye!